Hello! The recent weapon beta introduced a short bow for engineer, as well as some changes to the scrapper. Let's talk about it. First, the bow in general. Auto Attack's tooltip claims to apply weakness, but it doesn't. Skills 2 through 5 are inspired by other specs and intended to be combined into chains by spawning small canisters and detonating them together to get some extra bonus depending on the triggering skill. Skills offer new and interesting combo fields, finalizing the engineer's collection of fields and finishers. Unfortunately, despite being inspired by such well-known condi specs as Scorch, Spectre, Firebrand, and Chronomancer, none of these skills apply any corresponding damaging conditions, limiting the weapon to healer role only. As for the support role, there are two options: Heal Scrapper and Heal Mechanist. Former has received plenty of buffs in the latest balance patch and can be tested with the bow, while the other, spoiler alert, doesn't work with the bow that good. Obvious comparison for the bow is the Mace Shield set. In case of Heal Scrapper, the trade is Leap Finisher for the Blast Finisher, no block from shield, and lack of bigger uptime. Unlike Mechanist, Scrapper has 100% regen uptime from Elixir's Gun, Tool Belt, and Infusion Bomb. The recent changes to Scrapper also allow it to maintain protection without shield, albeit it only possible if alacrity is present, and forces to burn through Function Gyro and Heal skill. Mechanist doesn't have even this luxury with the bow. On the positive side, healing the bow provides is noticeably higher than on the mace. Boon and healing are ranged. Might provided by the proper chain is enough to be the only source of the might in build. Full chain, started with the might canister, gives 25 stacks with about 30 seconds at the very start of the combat, probably the most exposed boon application there is. This means that Heal Scrapper doesn't have to always carry the Blast Gyro, freeing up the utility slot. The switch of the Leap to Blast Finisher, aside from the animation lock, also makes combos more ally-oriented, but the finisher from the shield is unfortunately lost. So, what does it leave the Heal Scrapper with? Might is covered by bow as well as quickness, in conjunction with a variety of other skills. Protection is covered by Healing skill and Function Gyro, even though there are issues with it. Regeneration is provided by Elixir Gun and Medkit. It leaves Fury missing. Bow doesn't help, so other options are: first, the Rifle Turret with the Experimental Turret trait. This option is clunky, does not provide much leeway in terms of extra Fury uptime, and is very awkward to relocate. Second, the Relic of Midnight King. It's a decent option, but there is an opportunity cost in terms of preventing the usage of Relic of Karakosa, which can contribute to a large portion of healing with a build designed to proc blast finishers. Finally, there is a random effect of Elixir's B toss, if you're feeling particularly lucky today. Overall, bow and revoke traits do cover for all mandatory boons. There are 2 utility slots free, which was a great luxury before. Healing is fairly high, and as usual, more to allies than to self. There is an issue that situation skills like self-heal and function gyro are spammed off cooldown. The lack of controlled self-healing is sort of remedied by bow increasing healing, but not fully compensated. The flexibility of the bow allows for a complicated but flexible semi-range play style, compared to a streamlined rigidness of mace shield or hammer variants. With some modifications, there may be bright future, at least for exactly one build with it. Nevertheless, the bow in its current state has some severe gameplay issues. Aside from very limited functionality in not-heal scrapper builds, most of the bow usability problems boil down to awkward delays. It takes time for each canister to arm, preventing rapid deployment or activation of canisters. Already active canisters can activate newly placed ones for the entire duration of their fields, which forces to wait up to several seconds for the effect to expire before starting a new chain. These time issues, coupled with already stationary playstyle, result in a clunky feeling of the weapon and present major difficulties in high mobility situations like in Volt versus Volt. To sum up, there is a potential, and issues can be worked on. Having an extra condition with less fuse time and trigger window would be nice. Some overhauls to the system may also be applicable. It would be potentially interesting if there was a possibility to place several canisters of one type with ammunition system or something like that, and a single activation skill, so that not only the activated skills mattered in the end, but the sequence as whole, leading to a larger pool of possible resultant effects. It's an interesting weapon. It would be a shame for it to go to waste. That's about it. Have a nice time experimenting with builds.